Rajasthan. It is beautiful. And I don't mean just in the stereotypical way it's usually depicted in. The colourfully attired women, the grand ramparts, the vestiges of royalty in the past. That's all true, of course. But far from the choreographed photo ops and well-worn smiles in tourist hubs like Jaisalmer and Jaipur lies Shekhawati. On the tourist map, but not quite. In this semi-arid region of northern Rajasthan, cameras still evoke curiosity, foreigners are still strangers, and fading facades of buildings haven't been distempered over. It's appropriate that we can't explore this hinterland on our flashy motorcycles. For that, we're going to need a slightly more old-fashioned mode of transport.
A hack ride. I had no idea what that meant until we were invited to join a band of horse riders on one. This motley bunch consists of who you would call true blue equestrian aficionados. Considering that they've come to Shekhawati from across the world to ride hundreds of kilometers on horseback, I think that's no exaggeration.
There's no mistaking the leader of this troupe. Raghuvendra Singh Dundlod, better known as Bonnie in equestrian circles, is from an erstwhile noble family of the Shekhawati clan. From his family homestead in Dundlod, Bonnie first came up with the idea of running horse safaris in the local countryside. Today he's a popular figure amongst horse lovers and royalty alike as being an authority of indigenous breeds in India, as well as an excellent rider, storyteller and untiring promoter of Marwari horses. Along with his partner Francesca Kelly, Bonnie set up the Indigenous Horse Society of India. Together they've represented the country with the Marwari horses at the Equitana Horse Fair in Kentucky, the World Equestrian Games, and even the Queen's Diamond Jubilee celebrations at Windsor in May 2012.
At the end of each day, the group sets up camp, a campfire is lit, and everyone retires into tents. If rigor and lack of creature comforts are any parameter, then these people are truly on an adventure. For the first time since we started traveling, I feel a bit envious.
The Marwari horses are magnificent looking animals. Not that thoroughbreds don't look good, but these horses have an air of independence about them that I can't put a finger on. The Marwari horses first participated in the equestrian sport of endurance in 1996 and came home with a bronze medal. Given their sprightly character, Bonnie is rather circumspect about letting me have a go. Considering I haven't ridden in the last decade, it does little to assuage his concerns. Still, he reluctantly agrees to give me the tamest mare of the lot for a short sortie. Morning folks, how's it going?
Brilliant, thank you.
Slept well, all of you?
Yeah. Oh, definitely, yeah.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, how are you?
Very well, sir, very well.
Slept well?
Oh, like a baby. So I'm ready. I mean, I thought I'd have a go.
Good.
Huh?
Let's go. Come.
Wow. How many horses in all, sir?
Here we have 14.
14, huh?
14 horses here. 12 riders, one me and one more.
I can smell horse.
He's Prakash, my rider.
Namaskar, kaise hain aap?
Yeah.
Oh, this
is for you. This is Ablak Rani.
Ablak?
Ablak Rani. Ablak is the Rajasthani word for colored horses. Whether they are black and white or brown and white,
Ji.
we call them Ablak.
Hello, Ablak. Good morning. Good morning. Bache. How are you doing today? She seems quite amenable to the prospect.
She's a good horse.
Anything you'd want to tell me? Should I take my glasses off?
We always use the mounting block.
Oh, we use the mounting block?
Because it's always better for the back of the horse.
The back of the horse.
On the long rides.
Very well.
So we always use that.
So let's go to the mounting block then. Ablak. Okay. Chal beta, chal. Chal. I'm relaxed. You're relaxed, I'm relaxed. Okay. All right.
She doesn't like, she's got a weak eye on her left. So she doesn't like the left side.
She doesn't like the left side?
Yeah, she gets a bit jittery on the left.
Okay, I'm going to follow you all. I'll be on your right. Chal. Ablak, go for art. okay. What is the longest ride you've had?
9 days is our longest.
Ji.
Average is 7.
Average
And
is
the
7.
shortest is 5-day ride. The 9 days is from Hanumangarh, Punjab, Haryana border.
Oh.
From there all the way up to Dunlod, Alsisar.
Oh, so you don't confine yourself just to Rajasthan then?
We have started doing a ride the last 2-3 years in Punjab.
Right.
From there. So that the whole ride is about 200 kilometers.
200 kilometers.
Yeah, from Chandigarh to Anandpur Sahib.
I am not an absolute novice, but I reckon I'd come pretty close now. But I mean, there's no way in hell I could do 15-20 kilometers with you guys. No chance. Also because once these guys get going, then they're not really...
they are.
Like Ablak here knows that I'm a novice rider.
Yeah.
She
you
know,
you will see today when we start off
Right.
on the last day.
Right.
It's the last day and yet you will see that the horses are all very forward going and they go pretty well.
I've noticed this euphemism a number of times and I'm not familiar with it. What does forward going mean? Enthusiastic?
Enthusiastic, yeah, forward going. You see, the people who are riding thoroughbreds,
Right.
they find it very difficult even while they are walking.
Right.
They sort of always, put their heels in to make the horse walk and, so they feel
Right.
when they ride to us, they say we want forward going horses,
Right.
which we don't say anything till they come here. And we tell them, don't worry about it. They're all very forward going.
Yeah, you don't like these horses. You don't need to show them a.
We don't allow whips. We
at
don't
all.
allow spurs.
Yeah, spurs are just cruel. Yeah.
We don't allow any of that.
So you had a fair bunch of celebrities also come with you, I suppose.
We have had the Guinness family.
The
ride
Alec
with
Guinness
us,
family.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then we've had Sting and his entire family with us, his wife, children on their 50th birthday.
The singer-writer.
Horse.
So you've got the Marwadis. You mentioned the
Marwadi, Kathiawadi.
Kathiawadi is also Rajasthan.
That is Kathiawadi is more in Gujarat.
In Gujarat, okay.
Gujarat, in the Kathiawad region, but now spread all over Gujarat. And then we have the Sindhi now, which is also in Gujarat, Surat area.
I see.
And then in Badmer, Jaisalmer, parts of Rajasthan and some in Punjab.
Very different looking horses, the Sindhi?
No, Sindhis are taller.
Taller.
Tallest is Sindhi, then comes Marwadi, then comes Kathiawadi. And there is a difference between the ears. The Sindhi ears are more placed wider.
I see.
And they don't touch.
Oh,
The curve is there.
Yeah, look at that. He's turned it 360s. She's turned it 360s.
The
because
curve
she's
is
listening
there,
to me.
but yeah, they can turn it like that. One at a time
Talking
also.
about
One
you.
facing back, one facing front.
I've never seen that.
There you are.
She's almost doing it on command. Huh? I'm like, you're a smart horse.
While Meraj is out riding, I chat up with a few of the riders. One thing that strikes me immediately is how they speak of the horses they've been riding. It's obvious they've forged relationships with their steeds, and as their ride comes to an end, are already emotional about saying goodbye.
I came specifically to ride these type of horses because I'd heard that they were magical to ride and also have these characteristic cup-shaped ears.
To move through the villages here, the landscape, with another group, with my group of people as well on horseback, just as people have been doing, as I said before, for thousands of years.
My horse for the holiday is Surya. Here we go, babe. You want some of this? Surya is Mawari horse. I've had this dream to ride Mawari horses for a long time because they're fantastic animals. They've got these really funky ears, and we love them a lot. So when we booked the holiday, we had to do a profile to talk about our riding experience and so that we were paired up with the right horse.
As much as I enjoyed the morning ride, I quickly came around to Bonnie's appraisal of my riding abilities or lack of them thereof. Plainly, horse riding is a sport that punishes those who don't practice. As bumpy as the ride in the car is, I am quite content observing the ride from the sidelines.
As evocative as pictures are, they're no match for moving pictures, as video was called back in the day. The sound of the hooves thundering down the dusty track, the horses straining at the bit, riders hanging on for dear life, with the possible exception of Bonnie and Prakash that is, presents a spectacle that can't be fully captured in the stills.
The ride ends at Alcesar Palace, which quite conveniently is also where we parked our motorcycles.
What's the plan then? You want to check out the property?
I wouldn't mind actually. I think it's one of the best restored places in the entire area.
I'm going to take a ride around town.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hi guys. Pleasure.
How do you do?
Pleasure. Abhimanyu.
Hello. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Come.
Oh, all right. Carry on.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys. I'm going for a ride.
Done.
See ya.
See you.
See you. The Alcesar Palace. I know of this place, but not on account of heritage, but rather because it hosts the Magnetic Fields Festival. It is undoubtedly one of the finest surviving examples of Shekhawati's distinct architecture. Except that it's in pristine shape after undergoing an extensive renovation a few years back.
This is our main courtyard.
It's very impressive when you come in here, how it just opens up.
Yeah.
So you have a restaurant in here,
Yeah, so this is our main restaurant. It's called the Chandra Mahal.
Okay.
It's double height. It's a 120 cover seater. Then we have a restaurant on top, which is called the Badal Mahal. Basically means palace in clouds.
Right.
We have a billiard room here, the bar. I have a cigar lounge here, which is
so inside here is
dedicated
a
to the
cigar.
World War II. And we have a conference room there.
Okay.
So all basically the main public areas are out
It's
here.
all around this
It's all
area.
around this courtyard.
This piece is pretty impressive.
Thank you. Basically means brave deeds live, the bodies die.
Right, so
One of my
there's two
friends-
bodies.
Yeah, so when you die, if you've done some good deeds, it is the deeds which are left behind.
Right.
Because you've gone out and you have nothing left.
And what about this courtyard? It's as if it's not perfectly
It is
square.
not perfectly
Yeah.
made. It's a little parallelogram.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But this is actually the oldest part of the fort.
Okay.
The fort was initially built in 1630s.
Right.
And it was earlier ruled by a Nawab, there's a Muslim ruler here who used to rule Alcesar.
Really?
And then it was later in 1757 when my ancestors came and captured this place and started ruling from this place.
From 1767.
1757.
57.
Yeah.
That's when your family has
So
been.
this is as it was the oldest courtyard, I thought of making this into an art gallery.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I have cool artists come and work on murals. And
Yeah.
some kind of art which I spread.
Yeah.
Should
Right
be a
on.
little different.
Yeah, that's nice. Heritage.
Yeah.
Mehensar is largely given the miss by visitors, which is a shame because its overpowering ambience of being stuck in time and abandonment is so emblematic of Shekhawati's glory days. Nothing exemplifies this haunting quality as well as the fort of the erstwhile noble who ruled over Mehensar. A sprawling property now converted into a heritage hotel can't really be called a palace. It's largely derelict, a part of which has been restored by the descendants of the ruling family, and it does appear straight out of the faded annals of history.
Arvind Sharma is a tour guide and lives in Churu, town in Shekhawati, not far from Mehensar. He's agreed to show me around Mehensar.
Welcome to Mehensar.
Thank you.
Look, we are right on the top of the town, and down there, look at Sone Ki Dukan. That is the building. We are going to have a look later on.
That's the small square one there.
Yeah, that one. And the next temple, a Shiva temple, and the well, and of course the next one of the finest Shekhawati style temple that's called Buddha temple, built by one family who arrived here from Ramgarh, the other town, in 1836.
Like looking all around here,
Yeah.
it doesn't look like there's that much farmland around here. There's a lot of trees
Yeah.
all around the town, pretty much.
That's a trees are a new phenomenon. When you look further on, there used to be sand dunes all around.
Yeah.
There is a saying in the local Lakshis that Pav chun, Ser Mati, Varai Mera Shekhawati. That's how they say.
What does that mean?
It means quarter of a kilo of flour, wheat flour, and 1 kilo of sand. Oh my Shekhawati, you are great.
Well, I
Well, on
think
that note,
let's go
yeah.
check out the great Shekhawati.
Let's go and have a look. Let's have a look. So you can see how the gold is reflecting on the walls.
Precisely. That's all the details. Who built it? How much it did cost? These are all the details. They decided to put it down with dates as well. And when you look up, look at the semi-precious stone and the whole gold leafing. That was the most expensive part of doing it.
So this is real gold.
Yeah,
and
real.
mirrors. Indigo as a color was a symbol of wealth as well.
Precisely. And when you look at the other blue, for example, this one in these probably little things,
Yeah.
that was the artificial ultramarine blue. So 1850, that was the beginning of a new color scheme. Okay, they changed from the natural colors to the artificial ones.
And they were imported?
Yeah, they were imported, mostly from Germany. Red Turkey.
Okay.
So from Calcutta, from East India, they brought in the colors, started using it. So after that, the colors became more flamboyant, 1850s onwards, and the style became more decorative.
Narayan Nivas, as the heritage property is known now, is a veritable labyrinth of narrow passages, stairways, minute windows, and alleys that often lead nowhere. The few rooms that have been refurbished to host visitors are the only ones occupied except the ones in which the present-day descendants Thakur Maheshwar Singh and his wife Aruna live in. Perhaps the best way to describe the fort would be as a living image that's been desaturated by time and loneliness.
Maheshwarji, I've been to Mehensar before, as you know, and the last time I came, I wasn't able to see this place properly, and I was very fascinated with it because it's a genuinely old place, and you haven't sort of a lot of palaces like we went to Alcesar also. It's been restored, but it's extremely what's the word for it? It's almost spanking brand new, whereas this has a lot of old world charm, which is why I wanted to catch you and ask you a little more about this place. Like this room also is spectacular. How long has your family been here?
Since last 300 years.
Oh, 300
I'm eighth generation
In this.
of the first Thakur who built this castle.
I see. So when was the castle built?
It was built in 1768.
So I mean, so let me understand this. This was, you folks were noblemen of this place, is that right?
Of course.
Of
That's
Mehensar.
We were under Jaipur.
You were under Jaipur.
And Jaipur was the royal family.
Right.
And we all are nobles of Jaipur.
The king was still the,
Jaipur,
everybody reported to the king.
Yeah.
And so you guys maintained your own armies and everything.
About 200 people.
So has Mehensar seen any wars as well?
Yes, Mehensar had 3 wars.
I see.
2 with Bhati dacoits.
Bhati dacoits.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were from Pungal side.
Pungal.
Yeah.
Where is
near
that?
Bikaner.
Oh, near Bikaner. Okay.
Yeah. And the third one was with Mir Sen.
Mir Sen.
Yeah.
Who?
Mir Sen was also a Muslim dacoit.
I see.
And mostly he used to live in Chambal forest.
Oh, I see.
And finally he was killed by Marathas near Dholpur.
Oh, they must have been powerful dacoits then to have.
Yeah.
Huh? Well, none in your time, I take it.
No,
None in your time.
before my birth, this Jagir was finished.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But tell me, I'm a little. I wanted to ask you this because this place is like a what the bhool bhulaiya hai aapka wo thoda sa na. If you don't know your way around, you can lose yourself. Why has it been made like that?
In older days, they used to keep low doors in all the forts.
Right.
Because if enemy used to enter,
Right.
no one can enter the door keeping his sword up. Always
see.
one will
Okay.
enter keeping head down. And the staircases are very narrow because mob cannot enter the room.
Oh, so you can take them on
the
one by one.
people
Acha.
who are inside, they can charge on them.
And I remember going out and seeing the havelis as well. I mean, they would take a lot of money to restore, and they don't look like they are going to be restored.
Most of the merchants now they are out of Mehensar.
Right.
And since they left the Haveli, generations has passed. Even the repair work is not going on. So slowly, all these nice painted Havelis, they are falling down.
It is only about a few hours from Delhi, and if you ask me, it's an excellent weekend getaway, especially in the winter months. So I'm going to keep coming back. I'm going to keep coming back. And
Of course, it's just 260 kilometers.
I mean, I'll come back for Mehensar's Haveli, but I'll also come back for, the food that your wife cooks, because that...
You are most welcome.
The Soniki Dukan was astonishingly pretty, but this Haveli looks like it's been lifted straight from the sets of a period film. Apparently, this was like a ballroom, where the erstwhile residents of this house entertained and threw grand parties. It doesn't strain the imagination if I close my eyes to hear the clinking of glasses, laughter and conversation echoing from the distant past.
मैं ना आपकी किताब पढ़ रहा था. I was reading a book. And
Aruna Singh is an accomplished cook. She's even got her own cookbook. Last night she gave us this tomato stew for dinner, the likes of which I've never tasted before. Apparently it's really easy to cook, and Aruna has kindly agreed to give me a masterclass.
okay, let's start. Tell me what to do. I also want to learn.
Yes. First, put little bit of fenugreek seed.
और
It's okay.
इतनी?
We have this onion paste.
जी.
2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons. अच्छा, okay. Shall I put all of it?
Yes, yes.
Put all of it? Okay, all right.
Now, garlic paste, 2 garlics.
अच्छा, काफी डलता है.
हाँ, because main flavor is from garlic. And vinegar, and it has started separating the oil.
Right.
So now we
But tell me, go for it.
this
Turmeric.
yes. This is 1 teaspoon.
जी.
Oh, so this coriander powder.
जी.
2
2
and chili powder as
you like. Okay.
As you will add sugar and vinegar, the color will change. Now we'll add the tomatoes.
The tomatoes?
Yes, cut in half.
Cut in half?
Half,
अच्छा.
yes. And these tomatoes shouldn't be overcooked, otherwise they'll get messy.
It's good.
And always cook on low flame. Now we'll add the whole garlic.
Okay.
Now we'll add the sugar.
It's already browning a
Yes,
bit.
it's browning a bit
And that's because of the sugar, is
because of sugar. You see, it has changed the color. Oh yes,
Done?
it is done.
So typically, for this and for everything else, do you usually put garam masala at the end?
Yes.
You don't actually put it and cook it
No,
much, huh?
no.
Okay. The only thing I've never used is vinegar for Indian food. That's new for me.
This is the main flavor.
Really?
Yes.
So you'll shut it and leave it to simmer, or is it done?
No, it is done now.
It's
For
done.
1 minute or
Delicious. Nothing like ending a trip with a good meal. We've got a long ride back to Delhi, and we need to make haste if we want to get back before dusk falls. It's been a fantastic trip, And the one thing that's really going to stay with me is that moment in the old ballroom. I'm sobered by thoughts of impermanence. There's no stopping the wheels of time. What is present now will tomorrow be past.